for joining us for our first Tuesday talk of the semester. It's really exciting to be back. I'm excited to see everyone and share some of this introductory information to welcome everybody back to campus, whether that's virtual or physically. And even if you're not ready to start classes this semester, there's some really helpful information here to kind of get you onboarded again and hopefully answer some of your questions. So briefly, what we're going to do today, we're going to do a quick introduction of the team and everyone here as well. So be ready to participate at least a little bit. And then we're going to do a quick overview of our programs and program requirements as a quick refresher. We'll go over some of the resources that we provide through our Adult Learner Success team, some things to think about with next steps like important dates, and then some planning ahead from there. So very quickly, I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves. So first, I'm Amber Neer, that's Neer as in far. I am the coordinator of our adult learner programs here at Wayne State. I've been here since 2018, but over 12 years working with adult learners.
I guess I'm next. My name is Chloe Lundeen. I'm the Adult Learner Liaison. I'm an Academic Services Officer, and I've been working at the university since 2019. I graduated in 2015 with my bachelor's degree from Wayne in Gender, Sexuality, and Women's Studies. I am a longtime Detroiter, and I have a passion for working with adult learners. So thank you all. It's wonderful to see some familiar faces and some new faces, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you on campus.
I'm Susie Reynolds. I am the advisor for the Warrior Wayback and the Class Phoenix program. I have worked with students for about 8 years in higher education, and I've worked at students at all different times in their academic journey, as well as all different areas of the college.
And James is going to be joining us in just a few moments. So we're all going to kind of cycle through and talk about our pieces of the program. And we're excited to work with everyone. Like I said, so James will be joining us a little bit later. He is our career coach, and he's going to explain more about career services during his piece. But before we get to some of those details, I wanted to kind of pass it around and let everyone talk about themselves. I think, Chloe, if you wanted to facilitate this piece.
Absolutely. So if it's okay, I'll go ahead and sort of popcorn. So I will start with Joe, and then when Joe is done, Terrell is here. When Joe's done, we'll go to Mark, and from Mark, we'll go to Joanne. And I think that's all the students that we have here currently. So what I'd like to know is
My name is Lauren. I am here as well.
Hi, Lauren.
Hi, Lauren.
Hello.
I must be hiding. There you are. Sorry about that, Lauren. I see you now. So I'll have you state your name, your program of study, maybe what you've been up to since you were away from the university, and then one thing that's sort of on your mind, concern about returning.
All right. So my name is Joe Basola. I am an art history major. I will be completing my degree this semester via classes and through the CLEP testing. And I just moved back to Michigan. I grew up here, went to L'Anse Creuse North, and moved to Washington, D.C. for about 20 years, and just moved back and decided to finish my degree to advance my career. I am actually concerned about what I'm going to do once I graduate, so I will definitely utilize the career counseling and James's department as well. And that's about it.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Joe. And how about Lauren? Would you like to go next?
Sure. My name is Lauren Nelson. I don't even know what year I'm in. I guess I would say maybe junior year. My area of study is finance. Pray for me, everyone. So I am in the business school, and I am a returning student. I probably have been out of school about 12 years. So my previous studies were at Wayne as well. So I'm super excited about the Mike Ilitch School of Business. It's like so beautiful. No shade on the other one, but I mean, it's a complete facelift. So it always feels good going in there. It really feels contour to the business students, like we're really going into a place of business. So I absolutely love that energy. I finished my first semester back, fall semester, so now I'm in my second semester. I plan to go year round. My current employer does like offer tuition reimbursement, so I'm going to take advantage of using that money to pay for my summer classes to kind of stay on track. And hopefully this time next year, I'll be in my last semester and have my bachelor's in finance.
Very good. Thank you for that introduction, Lauren. And we're so glad that you're here. Mark, you're up next. Thanks for coming today.
How are you? My name is Mark McCary, and I've been at the school for a little while. When I first started out, I was taking courses one course at a time, but I've been eligible for a tuition discount, so it's made it pick up a little bit. I'm officially in my senior year. I'm a double major, political science and linguistics, and I was intending to graduating in this spring of next year, but now I might have had a medical setback. I don't know. Waiting to find out, and if that's the case, I'll probably be another year, but we have to wait and see what happens. There's a couple things. One, I also plan on taking advantage of the employment aids here with Mr. Hearns, and because that I always wonder about age discrimination. And the other thing is about growing the program, because I think there's a lot more adult learner students out there, and we just have to find them and get their input, and the program will grow like crazy. It's aided me, and I just don't know how long, once I'm done, then I can just relay my experience. But other than that, some of the other students take over, so there's always that continuity that you have to think about, especially when it's brand new. Thank you for having this session. It helps out.
Thank you so much, Mark. It's always wonderful to hear from you. Joanne, you're up next.
Hey, so I'm Joanne Brady. I am in the fine arts program, and I tell people that I dropped out in the 70s to get married and have children, not necessarily in that order. It was the 70s after all. In any event, so I've raised 4 kids, 2 cats and a dog, and I'm done. And I'm now retired, and I found out that I can come back to school for really cheap. And I was like, you know what? It's my turn. I'm going to finish that degree. I'm not necessarily interested in a job per se, but if I ever sell a painting or a photograph, that would be lovely. So I'm just here to do what I never intend to not finish it, but 4 kids, 2 cats and a dog. I mean, I was busy. So here I am. And I don't have any real concerns. I did only sign up for 2 virtual classes this semester because I just got a new knee. And I didn't think I ought to be traipsing around campus on this new knee yet. So, and Joe, I think you were in my class this morning. The art history, the Renaissance to modern era.
I don't have any classes right now.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. I'm for
there was some Joe in there. I don't know.
There's a lot of us.
Joanne, thank you so much for sharing. And next we're going to go to Dejane.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry if it's so loud behind me.
Nope.
My name is Dejane Hayes. I am a transfer student from Tuskegee University. I was originally supposed to graduate in 2015. But life. So in the meantime, I've been building a career at my job, and my biggest goal was to always complete my bachelor's degree and of course get my master's and then PhD. So now was just the right time for me to pursue that. I am a little nervous getting back into the swing of things as far as school because it's been like 9 years and I'm like, learning things and being able to catch up, especially with having a full-time job. And I am a caregiver for my grandmother and also for my mother. So I have a lot on my plate and I want to make sure that I am putting the best effort for that everyone else is. I am with the School of Liberal Arts sciences. My major is psychology with a minor in African American studies. So I definitely have a long-term goal. I'm along with Lauren. I don't know what day it is. Everything is running together pretty much for me. But as far as what I would like to do short-term wise, I'm still deciding on that. So hopefully by the time I get adjusted with school, I can start getting more ideas of where I would like to be.
Very good. Thank you so much for sharing, Dejanay. It looks like we have a number of commonalities between all of us. And it's really wonderful to get to know you all. And I think we'll get into the rest of our session here because we have a lot of information and not a whole lot of time.
All right, thanks so much, Chloe. So the first thing I wanted to do is just like briefly go over what adult learners means, because it's kind of a newer term. And Susan and I were just talking earlier today about how it means different things to different people. But this is the new like industry accepted term. So this is what we're sticking with as adult learners, meaning students 25 or older working on the first bachelor's degree. Generally, these students like you are working full or part-time, just have a lot of other commitments, balancing kids, family, just not bringing that traditional 18-year-old experience to the classroom. There's a whole lot more involved there. So usually we see that through our Warrior Way Back program. That's our debt forgiveness program, the Phoenix Reentry program, which is our GPA forgiveness program. And then everybody else we kind of lump into this returning warrior, which is just students who have taken a break and are now returning. And they're warriors because you're here at Wayne State. And so we also have a lot of other populations on campus that intersect with this adult learner identity. So we usually see the transfer students. Most adult learners have some transfer credits. And at least we want to talk about that as an option for them. Oh, and here's James now. Also our military affiliated students, we have a very robust veteran population, military affiliated population on campus with AMVE. And then we also have our justice impacted students. Terrell, are you there? Well, I'm giving you a shout out.
I am.
Did you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Terrell Tops. I am the Educational Transition Coordinator here at Wayne State University that absolutely deals with the justice impacted students that Amber is indicating currently. And I'm here to assist in any way that I can for the population overall, and specifically the justice impacted students. Terrell
is just a great person to know. I want him to be my life coach, so highly recommend connecting with Terrell at some point. FIDIAC is what we call first time in any college. That's generally like a freshman student. Those could be adult learners as well, but a little bit less likely. But these, folks like you turn up are in all areas of the university and different identities. So I'm going to pass it over to Susie, and she's going to talk more about the pathways to returning.
Hello, hello. Adult learners, including just a returning student or a stop out student. I'm going to go into each of these a little bit more in depth, so I'm not going to go into them too much here. So first is Warrior Way Back. So to qualify for the Warrior Way Back program, you must have a 2.0 GPA, a balance of 1,500 or less at Wayne State, been away for 2 or more years, no housing holds. So housing is kind of a weird situation. And if you have a balance with housing, that won't be forgiven with Warrior Way Back. Never earned a bachelor's degree and complete a Warrior Way Back application. Once accepted, you're going to meet with me and we're going to talk about the program, your plans, your aspirations. If you are not in this program or you missed out on that conversation with me because you started too early, you can always come and have that conversation with me now. We can talk about plans and aspirations now. And then you're also going to meet with your department advisor. In both of those meetings, you'll be going over agreements that you have to sign for the program. And then number 3 is to continue in the program. Students must meet the following. So a C or better in each course, a 2.5 term GPA or higher, no new financial holds, so you can accrue a balance and get forgiveness at the same time, and then at least 6 credits each semester. And so when debt is forgiven, we forgive it in thirds. I think this is actually on the next page too. So when debt is forgiven, we forgive it in thirds. And so as long as you're in those 6 credits, we'll forgive a third each semester for 3 semesters. So this is a little situation. If a student left Wayne State owing a balance of $1,500 in 2013, the student returns to WSU in fall of 2018. That's more than 2 years afterwards. They successfully complete the semester. Wayne State forgives 500 of the students' past due balances, and then next semester, again, does successful in their classes, another 500, and then last semester, another 500. We will work with you if you're closer to graduation than 3 semesters or something like that, and we need a special situation. That's just something to come and talk to me about. Next is Phoenix. So to qualify for Phoenix, you must have been excluded or on probation, have a GPA below 2.0, away for 3+ years, no financial balance, and you're not able to do Phoenix and Warrior Way Back at the same time. So if you're a Phoenix student, you would have to pay down your balance to 0. Work with an individual college. So Phoenix is a little bit different in that we don't work with all of the schools and programs. So I only work with CLASS, the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. If you're in a different school, you can still come talk to me about the program, but I'll be sending you to somebody else to fill out your application. And then you fill out a Phoenix application. Once you are accepted, you meet with me. Again, we talk about your goals, aspirations, coming back to college, all that fun stuff. And then we'll have you complete a Phoenix contract. And then to continue in the program, so you're better in each course, so a 2.0 GPA, and you have 2 years to complete 12 credits to get your GPA forgiveness. And then returning students, returning warriors, kind of like mentioned a little bit earlier, this is anybody who was at WSU previously. Doesn't matter how long ago, you've spent time away. You could have transferred some credits and, taken 1 semester at Wayne, left to go get community college classes and be coming back, anything like that. You don't need to reapply to Wayne. You don't need to reapply to any type of program. You can definitely meet with me. We can talk about goals and aspirations and coming back to school. And then you're going to get, or you can opt into the same amount of support as my Warrior Way Back in Phoenix students get. And then transfer student. This would be somebody who never attended Wayne. You have 24 or more credits of previous college work, minimum of 2.5 GPA from all institutions. So we would make a cumulative GPA based on all the credits that you took previously. And then you would have to make a transfer application.
Sorry, I couldn't find my mute button. So I want to talk quickly about some of the resources to help you succeed as an adult learner here at Wayne State. We have a lot of resources on campus. Most of them are applicable to adult learners, maybe with some tweaks or just some keen attention to how to access those. Specifically for the team that's here, this is the Adult Learner Success Team. We provide a lot of, again, very specific supports. So these Tuesday talks, nearly every Tuesday, we have a session like this that focuses on something like a resource or a person who's going to be really helpful to your success here at Wayne State. We also offer holistic supplemental advising, so that's a lot of the work that Susie and Chloe do. We all do the success coaching piece, and James is here. He's going to talk about our career coaching a little bit later. And we really pride ourselves in what we call our curated connections to campus resources. So we really know the best folks to refer you to in those departments to make sure you get the support that you need, and individuals who are really keyed into your experience as an adult learner. We also have an adult learner student group, which Chloe is going to talk about a little bit later. And we're working on some alumni networking. Chloe is also the contact for our adult learner lounge. If you haven't checked that out yet, it's a pretty cool space outside of our offices. New last semester, we started our adult learner weekly newsletter. So you may have gotten that yesterday, the first one for the semester. So every Monday we send out a newsletter that highlights the top 5 things for you to think about that week, because we know you get a lot of different emails every week. As an adult learner, there's a lot going on. So we try to filter out some things that you should be focusing on that week, just to kind of help with all the noise of all the emails and interactions that are coming in all the time. We also have a really robust social media presence, which Chloe's going to talk about, as well as her open office hours, coffee with Chloe. We're really developing our career and resource fair repertoire for the next semester and moving into spring, summer. That really picks up as well, especially with our community outreach. So a lot of really exciting things going on. If there's something that you would like to see that you don't see here, and you think would be a really great offering to yourself or other adult learners, please reach out and let us know. So we're going to talk more about advising. So I'm going to pass this back over to Susie.
Hello again. So what does adult learner advising mean? And so pretty much when you come to us in our office, so really any of us on this call today, you're going to get our super happy, supportive faces talking to you about your aspirations and dreams and what you want to do with your classes and what's going to be the best options for you and all of that stuff. But we're also going to be able to refer you to campus resources that are going to be helpful for you. Talking about department advising, so getting you in connection with your department advisor. If you need any military support, if you're a adjusted impacted student, we'll get you connected with Terrell. We'll talk to you about transfer credit or get you connected with Doug, who does our transfer credit or transfer students. Academic study skills development. So if you are struggling in a class or you think you might just need a little bit of extra support at the beginning of the semester, come and talk with us. We'll get you connected with the right people. We're going to help acclimate you to the university or reacclimate you. Just make sure that you know where everything is. If you need to find, know where your classes are, we can walk you through how to find your classes, where they are, to if you're not sure about talking to a professor or what the department looks like and how you, communicate an issue you're having with your professor. We'll be able to talk you through all that or get you in connection with the right people. We're your biggest advocates and your biggest support system on campus. So we are here to support you. And we appreciate you all coming and, putting your education in our hands and your support in our hands. So I'm going to go over to career services.
Yeah, I thought I moved these more to the end, but I guess I didn't. So James, are you ready to go?
Sure. Thank you. All right, guys, I want to say welcome and Happy New Year to everyone and the team. I haven't seen you guys since the beginning of the year, so welcome back, and our new faces. Welcome to this team and this experience. So you guys, by being on this call tonight, it can really transform your life and change your life. Number one, you made the big step coming back. Whatever reason, you return back to Wayne State University. So this team that we have assembled is here to help you. You can accomplish your dreams, you can accomplish your goals, but it begins with a plan. It begins with when you sent that email in and you talk with Amber and you talk with Susan and Chloe and the team. If you can't get inspired after that, you're not gonna get inspired. So you have the resources. It's here. Now my role is the career coach and specifically adult learners. The number one reason why you're here is for better social mobility and more income opportunity. That's the reason why you get a degree. That's the reason why you're here. And you ultimately want to change where you at, your status, and as far as an upward trajectory, as far as social mobility. Well, number one, you have to think about interviewing, resume. You have to think about that professional step. That's where I come in at. I don't know if many times I think students at Wayne State, you're not really aware of the resources, the vast resources that Wayne State University has with its alumni, with its professional network connections. Any employer that in the city of Detroit and surrounding area want Wayne State students. and they're looking aggressively. So I come in as a liaison to help you with that. Part of my responsibility is I provide career counseling. As you heard what Susan said early, regarding your dreams and aspirations, that's what our conversation will start off with. What is your goals? What do you see yourself once you get your degree, or 3 years, or 5 years, or 10 years? Some individuals who come back to school, as far as adult learners, they know what they want, but they just need that help, that connection. That's where my particular role and department come in at. We provide resources, educational resources, vocational training, apprenticeship, community college. A lot of times adult learners, you guys come back and say, listen, I just want a vocational training. We do that. If you are in our system, you come to Wayne State, we're going to try to find the best fit for you. And then they have to be Wayne State University. The goal is for you to, get the, experiences and educational opportunities. And we provide those resources for you. Of course, we know we have been interviewing as adult learners. So resumes, references, thank you letters, anything that's dealing with that, that's our department. And things have changed when it comes to resumes and references and things like that. So that's where, so career services provide that level of expertise. And we assist with job searching techniques, interviewing skills, employment related questions. If you have not interviewed in a while, the industry has changed. A lot of things have changed. Our resources, we have such vast resources, career services, that we can really help you with mock interviews, with artificial intelligence that actually help you perfect those interviewing skills and techniques. Next slide, please. Now, as I said before, career services has vast amount of services and resources. And one part is career planning. So even though as an adult learner, you may understand exactly where I'm going, well, we would work on a plan, and then maybe periodically we would check in with the plan, see how you're doing. Maybe you are in a point that you're trying to figure some things out. You're trying a new major, want a new, maybe a different type of career. We have assessment tools. We have online. We have counseling. Maybe you want me to look at your resume. Maybe you want the team to look at your resume. Maybe you want, what's the current latest technique searching for jobs in law or education? We have that. And I think most of all, we have some wonderful things regarding anything career related presentations and employment opportunities. If you're not familiar with Handshake, Handshake is our version of Indeed. As a Wayne State student, you have access to that vast network of jobs and opportunities. So my job is to help connect you to those resources. So you don't have to worry about or think what I'm doing or need to do. That's why we have our Tuesday talks. That's why, have my email address and everything. And then we would just begin as with the entire team with a conversation. And from that conversation, we will walk in the direction. Adult learners, as adult learners, you know exactly what you need. So one student plan may be different than another student. And we work a plan just for you. Okay. Just an overview. And doing our Tuesday talks, I normally I'll go into each one of these, but it's just for our purposes tonight to know that there's 8 career competencies, and these competencies are what employers are looking for. So when you're thinking about in your classes or your work experiences, there's 8 areas in which you need to really think about perfecting. And you're going to have that reflected in your resume and have it reflected while you interview. And so for those 8 areas, it begins with teamwork. You have to be able to demonstrate those competencies, technology competency, career self-development. Are you at a point that you understand where your development is and how can you find ways to perfect your skills and your own personal development? Equity inclusion. Are you able to work in diverse environments, different cultures? Does your resume, does your experiences reflect that? Also, a level of professionalism. It goes beyond, we know the word professional doesn't mean, but we talk about really what's appropriate for what it's a different type of environment. Critical thinking skills, very important. Employers want to know, are you able to think critically? If you're given a situation, are you able to think through the situation, come up with possible solutions and apply those solutions to a problem and to help a team? Leadership skills. does your resume, resume and your professional experiences reflect leadership experience? If so, how? And are you able to demonstrate those level of competence? And last is communication. I think that goes without saying, but communication is very key because you talk about oral forms of communication, written form of communication. And are you able to effectively communicate with diverse groups of people, ethnicity wise? And can you show that level of competency regarding communication? So those are the 8 areas in which, I have a specific Tuesday talk that we talk about each one and specific strategies and techniques, how to reflect and how to enhance those things. Handshake, as I mentioned earlier, is, like I said before, our version of Indeed. So as a Wayne State student, you have that application. You can actually go on, use your student ID, and you can log in. If you have not done so, I strongly encourage you to do so. And you can upload your resume. And in this vast database, employers can see your resume and you would emails and things like that. So I also have a Tuesday talk talking about Handshake, how to get it on, how to navigate it, and its benefits. My contact information is there. But like I said, we have a wonderful website. If you get a chance, please go to the website. Take a look at the website. It's self-explanatory, but it's vast and it has so many resources. And sometimes I think it's underutilized because a lot of times our students don't really know about it. So I encourage you to go to the website. Of course, it's a Tuesday talk. I have it about the website. So please, if you see that Tuesday talk, we're talking about Career Services website, please join me. We can dive right in.
Thanks so much, James. So then, like James is a great person to connect with as well. So I suspect, like most of you said earlier, he's going to be the hot person to know at the end of this. Seems like a lot of people want to connect with you today, James. So good position to be in. All right. So Chloe, do you want to go ahead and take it over for the social development piece?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, James, Susie, and Amber. This is, as you can imagine, a wonderful team to work with, and wonderful folks to work for, which is all of you. So without further ado, I'll get into the social development. So we understand that being an adult learner, returning to school isn't just about the academic piece. There is also a social piece to it. When we have what you might consider traditional age students come to the university, they see people that look like them everywhere. And while there are a lot of adult learners at Wayne State, you might not be able to see them. So it is our hope that we can develop spaces where you feel like you see yourself around you. So these are the initiatives that we have going on so far. We've got Coffee with Chloe, which takes place in the Adult Learner Lounge. We have the Adult Learner Student Org, which I'm really excited to talk to you all about, and then our social media as well. With that, we like to, this bottom quote here is kind of what drives us, and what drives our social support initiatives. You bring a wealth of knowledge and experiences to the classroom. Our team's here to celebrate you and your accomplishments and support your goals and help you earn a degree. I see that, David, you have your hand raised. If you want to go ahead and ask your question, or. Hi, David. If you're speaking, we can't hear you because you are muted. Okay, I'll just go ahead and, oh, I see, you're in class. Okay, great. Hi, David. So this is my flyer for Coffee with Chloe. This takes place every Wednesday. So we'll be having this tomorrow. It is in the Adult Learner Lounge, which is in the undergraduate library, which you can see in the image behind me. If you go to the University Advising Center, that is where the Adult Learner Lounge is located. So during Coffee with Chloe, you can of course have a cup of coffee or tea. We've got some light refreshments. You can connect with me as well as other adult learners. So I hope that sometime throughout the semester, I get a chance to meet all of you in person if I haven't already. let's see, next page, please. Thank you so much. So like I said, this is an opportunity to connect with me, ask any questions that you may have. This is a casual and relaxed environment for adult learners to meet one another and have casual conversations to discuss common, successes as well as maybe some grievances you may have. This is a way for us to engage with our students and to encourage you to join in our other events. So my goal in having Coffee with Chloe is to cultivate a sense of belonging and also to encourage you to be involved and active on campus if you're able to. Thanks, Amber. So like I said, this takes place in the Adult Learner Lounge. I'll show you some images of that here in a little bit. And like Amber mentioned earlier, it is outside of my office, Amber's and Susie's office. We're all kind of in a row in the University Advising Center, and this space is right outside of us. So it's specifically dedicated to adult learners for study and social gatherings. We've got a coffee pot there. Like I said, the light refreshments. We can host events there. We have a children's area. Children are welcome always. We understand that a lot of adult learners are family folks. You'll see my own children in that area fairly often. We also have some resources available and we're hoping to provide more as time goes on. So we have 3 computer stations. We can offer some light computer assistance. We also have a pencil pantry. So those are free school supplies. If you show up to campus and you forgot a writing instrument or a notebook or binder, we can provide you with that in this area. All right, so this is a picture of an adult learner utilizing the space. You'll notice if you come to visit me, we have a lot more plants now than we did when this picture was taken. I think the next slide is an example of a reel that I created. If you're an Instagram user, that's a short video that I made. Hopefully it'll work because sometimes it doesn't, but we'll give it a try. Maybe not, and that's okay. So if you get a chance to, at the end of this, I will provide you with the links to our social media accounts if you want to check out our Instagram. I try my best to stay up with all the latest trends and things, but I am, an adult myself, so it's a little bit of a learning curve. Okay, so our Adult Learner Student Org, we're actually getting this off the ground finally. We're registering right now as an official student organization. So we plan on holding monthly meetings. Those will be held both virtually and in the Adult Learner Lounge, either simultaneously or at different times. We haven't established that yet. It's very difficult to find a time when all adult learners are available. But we will try our best. So I will be there to provide administrative assistance only, but this is a student-led effort. And the plan is to collaborate to create regular social programming like movie nights, game nights, and volunteering. If you'd like to join, there is no time commitment required. But it is a great opportunity to grow leadership skills. So far, we have a president, but we don't have anybody else. I see we're coming up on the end of our time here, so I'll just speed through this a little bit. My contact information will be at the end. If you are interested in joining the student organization, please reach out to me and I'll make sure that you are on all of our communications from there. I think it would be great if we left the last little bit for questions or anything else that Amber, Susie, James, Terrell might want to add. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so we were going to have, it actually worked out. So Daisy's our financial aid contact and she couldn't make it tonight last minute. So I just wanted to, share her contact information. So as you're starting the semester or thinking about getting started next semester, you can connect with her. Let me share this here. But she is going to be having a session, I believe next week is our financial aid session. We'll see that in a couple slides here. So if you can always reach out to her, she responds pretty quickly generally. But if you'd rather just wait for her presentation next week, that's great too. She does a presentation for us every month through these Tuesday talks here. Okay, and we did talk about some of these resources earlier in the presentation, but some others that I wanted to kind of bring to your attention: student accounts receivable. So if you have questions about your bill, that's the best place to get started, especially how to make payments on your bill. If you are interested in setting up a payment plan, that's the place to go. Don't forget about your department or major advisor. So Susie here can help you with like the adult learner specific piece. But if you have questions about like your capstone for your major or more specific like course questions, that's going to be within your department or major advisor's area of expertise. And we can always connect you with them as well. Our Dean of Students office, that's over in the Student Center. So all like a lot of the student orgs work out of there. If you need like our basic needs offices are through there. So the pantry, the Warrior Wardrobe, some really great resources there. Libraries are awesome, but we know that libraries look a lot different now than they did maybe 10 or 15 years ago. Sometimes that technology piece can be a bit of a challenge. So we do have a presentation this semester from Veronica Bielot. She's a librarian. She's a student success librarian, can talk more about utilizing those resources. But if you have any questions in the meantime, feel free to reach out to us or somebody or Veronica over in libraries. I always want to highlight our Pre-Med Health Science Center as well. If you are in a health track or pre-health, pre-med, pre-dent, anything that includes a health piece, if you haven't already done so, connecting to our Pre-Med Health Science Center is an excellent first step just to make sure you're checking all of the boxes. Also our Transfer Student Success Center, we call it TSSC. So if you are a transfer student, you transferred to Wayne State and you have questions about your transfer credit or you want help through the transfer process, that's a great group of folks to connect with as well. So I didn't want to clutter up the screen with like all the ways to get in touch with them, but if you do, you can always search for them on the website, or if you have a specific question, I can connect you with somebody directly. So other campus support resources, we mentioned earlier the ASC, that's our Academic Success Center covering our peer-assisted learning, all like the tutoring pieces, the Study Skills Academy, Skills Academy, student success workshops, all those extra layers of academic support, how to study, like what's the science behind studying and what's the best way to study smarter, but not harder. It's not always how much time you spend studying, it's being very strategic in how you study. So there's some really great ways to save some time there. Campus safety is at 2222. CAPS, Counseling and Psychological Services. So if you are looking for some mental health support, a lot of our students are. That's another great resource that you can utilize. A lot of their services are free of charge. Housing, we do have some on and off campus housing support for students. Not a lot of adult learners live on campus, but if that's something that interests you, feel free to reach out to them or connect with us. Our Math Resource Center, that's another great option if you are kind of nervous about going back into that math environment and need to take some math courses. Len Hernandez is a great contact as well. So he's in our office in the Academic Success Center, but his specialty is helping students who have a lot of anxiety around math. So I always want to refer students over his way. Another great champion to have in working with you. OMSI is our Office of Multicultural Student Engagements. Really great programming coming out of the office from Dr. Hawks, and like the description says here, celebrating identities among all students. Definitely recommend checking out their schedule. SDS is our Student Disability Services. I read a stat the other day that like 85% of people are going to experience a disability at some point in their lives. And our SDS, like the biggest disabilities that they serve are anxiety, usually anxiety related. So, we usually think about like student disability services, more things like getting around campus if you have a mobility issue, but that's more often than not the case. So recommend connecting with them to talk about some learning support services. We'll also have a presentation from SDS later this semester. So a lot of great resources you can check out, wayne.edu/students. Some key takeaways or other things that maybe didn't come up here that I wanted to make sure to put on your radar. If this is your first semester using Canvas, that's our learning management system. So how you access all of your courses online. So even if you aren't taking an online class, I am nearly certain that your class is going to have online components, at least for like submitting assignments, downloading assignments, things like that. So on Canvas, there's this course, they call it a course, but it's more like modules that you can do before, like independent of your courses, just to learn how to use Canvas, how to utilize resources online through Wayne State. It's free, it's self-paced. I recommend everybody does it. I learned a whole lot going through it. So if that's something that interests you, you can find that on the website or shoot us an email. We can send you the link to it. I also want everyone to verify that your financial aid is in good standing and everything is squared away there. The worst surprises are financial surprises because they usually aren't good, unfortunately. So always verify that your financial aid is in good shape. Check through that portal on Academica just to make sure everything's in place. If you have questions, reach out to Daisy. The other that I just emailed about yesterday is recommending that everybody, take a moment to introduce yourself to your instructors. Kind of let them know where you're at in this class, like why you're taking it, why you're working on your bachelor's degree, some of the other things that you have going on in your life right now. Because as we've all experienced, life happens. And instructors, they can be flexible if they understand your situation. I mean, at least they're more likely to be. So it doesn't hurt to reach out. It's like networking professionally. It's just good to know these folks because you want them to be on your team. Be sure to review all of your course. So add some of those key dates to your calendar so things don't creep up on you. Schedule recurring study time each week. This has always been extremely helpful to me personally, and I know for a lot of other students as well. I schedule study time like I do any other class, so that way I don't let the week go by and I don't get anything done. Especially for Warrior Way Back students, be sure to check in with an advisor at least twice a semester. That's a requirement with your contract. But I always suggest reaching out to an advisor, whether that's Susie or your department advisor, 2 or 3 weeks into the semester, just let them know how you're feeling about things, some of your concerns. And then when registration opens again later in the semester for the subsequent semester, that's another time a good time to check in to see how things are going. Register early for classes whenever possible. I mean, you're all experienced students, the longer you wait, the fewer options you have for courses. Like we mentioned earlier, register for SDS or with SDS, that's Student Disability Services. That can take some time for paperwork to move through. So the sooner you do that, the better. And also be sure to sign up for tutoring early. If, for instance, if you're in one of those really challenging math courses or a course that just has tutoring available, don't wait until you're over your, what's the expression? In over your head. There we go. Don't wait till you're in over your head. Just set that up as just an extra part of the course that you have regular tutoring from the beginning. And if you get a couple weeks in, and you feel like you don't need the tutoring anymore, you can always remove that from your schedule, but it's harder to get in with a tutor the longer you wait because their schedules fill up. Also want to recommend joining the Adult Learner student group and following us on social media, which we're going to talk about in just a moment. Here it is. Chloe, did you want to highlight anything on the screen?
Not in particular. I just really recommend following us if you are a social media user because important dates, events, tips, a lot of the things that we went over in this, information on student financial aid, you're going to find that on our social media. And also, if you fill out this survey with some information about your availability, I will send you information on our next student group meeting. And I think that is going to be something that will really turn into a really good resource for adult learners. So I do recommend that as well.
So just want to circle back, we're all coming back into the semester, looking for the social engagement to come through social media, but I also just want to emphasize again, the importance of your mental health as you move through this. So CAPS again is a really big resource. We're working on building more robust counseling support through this team as well. But your mental health is going to be a big piece. It's, classes get stressful. It's a lot going on. And it's really key. And you really can't emphasize that enough. So again, recommend reaching out to CAPS if you need some supports. I know a lot of folks already have that relationship with therapist or counselor, so take advantage of that. Or if you need help getting connected with somebody or finding that resource, please reach out to us anytime, and we're happy to help. I know it's something that's really important to really all of us on the team personally as well. So here's the schedule for our Winter Tuesday talks. We are coming up on the end here. So this is our first one here. Today's the 10th. So I was right. Thank goodness. Next week is Daisy. So she's covering financial aid, answering all of your financial aid questions, getting into the details of everything you need to know for financial aid. A lot of really exciting sessions moving throughout the semester. Some other things I want to put on your calendar later in March, we're going to be having a career fair specifically for adult learners. That one's going to be focused on like government jobs. So you'll be hearing more about that. So if you're thinking about moving into a career with like state or federal government, that's a really good place to start learning about that. We're also going to be planning minimally another end of the semester pretty big celebration too. So some exciting things coming up this semester. I'm sure Chloe's working on some exciting things too for programming. And leaving you with something important here, not that this wasn't all important, but especially important. I always want to throw these important dates out. We get into the busyness of the semester, and these days can kind of fly by us, like we were just talking about. So classes, believe it or not, just began yesterday. It feels like it's already been some time, but thinking about some like the biggest dates. So when your degree applications are due. So if you're planning on graduating the end of the semester, so, make sure you have your degree application in to make sure that everything gets processed. It's always a lot earlier than I expect it to be, but that's just time to get the degree audit through. The last day to withdraw is March 26th. That's going to creep up on us too. And some of the days off too. So we aren't here for MLK Day. And then it looks like in our spring break in mid-March too. And all of this is available on the website if you search for the academic calendar. Here is our your next step, reach out to somebody. So this is pretty much everybody who's here to support you wherever you're coming at us from for the adult learner piece. So everyone who is here today. I also want to highlight Jaime Lopez. He works with our military affiliated students through AMVE. So if you're looking to coordinate your benefits, military benefits, he's your go-to guy. And then Doug also is not here today, but I know Susie mentioned him a couple of times. He is our kind of connection for transfer students, transfer credits. If you're thinking about doing what we call reverse transfers, going back to the community college, take a couple classes, save some money there. He's going to be your contact. So we're happy to connect you with any of these resources. So does anyone have any other questions for us? Well, we have our 1 minute left.
Yeah, so I have a question about the degree, declaring degree. Like, how do I do that?
You mean applying for graduation?
Yeah.
So that's going to be through Academica.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just go through Academica. I look up degree.
I'll send you the link.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yep.
I have a question you guys might not know the answer to. So I signed up for the auto pay, the 4 monthly payments, or at least I think I did, but I keep getting emails telling me to sign up for that. So I don't want to get in trouble, and I don't know if it's actually happening. When I click on the link that they send me in those emails, it just takes me back to the sign up page.
Yep,
so how do I know?
Student accounts receivable.
Pardon me?
Just call student accounts receivable directly and ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because you're getting emails doesn't necessarily mean you're not signed up.
I know, but when you sign up, it's also kind of weird. When you get to the end, it's really not clear that it went through.
Okay.
So, and don't okay boomer me, but that's what happened.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
I popped the link for instructions on how to apply for graduation and then the phone number for student accounts receivable in the chat.
Great. Thanks, Chloe.
Awesome. Thanks, Chloe.
Any other thoughts or questions? Okay, I'm going to hang out for a little bit, but I'll stop the recording now. So if anyone has any questions I don't necessarily want to share with the group, I'm sure a couple of us are going to hang out. But otherwise, thanks so much for joining us today, spending part of your evening with us, and we hope to see you next week, if not sooner, in an appointment or a call. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.